very first live event was when Jonathan Coleman, shout out to him with Blacktopia. He gave me the first chance of doing a live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JT Experience Voices, Visions, and Vibes. I am your host, James JT Thompson, aka the Poet JT. Join us. Welcome to the JT Experience Visions, Voices, and Vibes. And we have a special guest in with us today, none other than Tammy Thomas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for
Yeah,
having.
yes, I'm excited about this interview. First and foremost, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Tammy Thomas, and I'm from Virginia. I am an author, a poet, monologuer slash actress, um, writer. I write poetry. I write monologues, skits. I co-write plays and whatever else I need to do. Short stories too.
Wow, a lot.
Yeah.
And one thing we do here on the JT Experience, we give the audience a synopsis of who you are. But your links at the end of the show are going to be important because our audience is going to be obedient and they're going to follow those links and find out even more about you. So, what first got your interest as far as writing and getting into a creative space?
Well, when I was a teenager, a lot of times, we deal with a lot of stuff from bullying or depression, from people rejecting you or making fun of you, or just, general teenage stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
one day I just started writing, and I'm like, wow, I like this. I didn't know it was poetry, but I know I was rhyming. And so it just came into play. It's just I loved it ever since. It's like therapy to me.
So one of your first pieces that you wrote are writing in your notebook or just randomly writing. What do you remember about some of the things that inspired you as you were writing, and what did you discover about yourself?
I discovered that writing was an outlet for me, and that it helped me a lot. And I remember the first poem I wrote was "Cry Me a River" or something like that.
Okay.
Is I was mad at somebody. I don't know who it was, but I just started writing, and it made me feel better. But what's funny is that my sister and my best friend was just, they was laughing at me like, "What is that? What are you talking about?" You know, I was like, it's not. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. I
Mm-hmm.
said I'm just writing my feelings on paper. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it made me feel better. So, and afterwards, they ain't question anymore.
Gotcha. What is your pen name?
Right now, it's Tammy Thomas.
Okay. Okay. Talk about some of your books and how did you feel about it as you were going through that journey of writing them and putting those things together? What was the process like?
The process was overwhelming. My first time and editing and different ways of doing it and finding pictures for the cover, and it was frightening, overwhelming, but fun at the same time. I guess you could say.
Got you. And so tell our audience a little bit about the books that you do have out.
Right now, I do have some books that's with other authors through Creative Talents Unleashed, and I do have a book out with a Soul magazine. I wrote poems, short stories there, and I got 3 solo projects out right now The first one I wrote back in 2017, Emotional Soul of a Poetess.
Okay. Okay.
And the second one is Life Through Poetry Eyes.
Okay.
And my third one is Poetry's Truth, the pen, the paper, and the words in between the lines.
Awesome.
Yes. And my fourth one is Sitting and Waiting. It's been sitting there for a while. I say maybe about 3 years.
Okay.
Because other projects come up and I haven't gotten a chance to publish that yet. So it's not. Sometimes it's not the right time, and when it is the right time, I will do it. I will publish it.
It's definitely a season for everything, and
Right.
the person that's penning the story definitely knows when that time comes. So I'm sure
That's
when
right.
that does come to you, then that particular project will be released as well. Tell me how much your faith is incorporated in the different projects that you're working on and how important that is to you.
Oh, it's very important. You always got to put God first. Always pray about what projects to do and who to work with. And I mean, you got to have faith. My faith is strong. So
Mhm.
you have, have God in everything that you do.
Definitely important to do so. What are some of the lessons that we have aspiring poets and writers that are watching the show right now? What are some of the advice that you would get them if they're just starting out? What would you pass back to them?
Do not rush into your work. Do not rush into it. Make sure everything is, right. Make sure everything, the editing is to the T. Even if it's your first time, you want to make sure that the first time be a great experience. Do not rush.
That's good advice. How is it for artists to own what they create?
And say it again.
How important is it for artists to own what they are creating?
It's very important. And don't, and if somebody asks you to change anything, if you don't feel comfortable, don't do it.
Mhm.
Let them know that you tell them this is my work, this is, my words, this is my story. Because nobody can tell your story but you.
Facts. Um, Give us a little known fact or something that people might not know about you.
Hmm. Well, the known fact is, I just started doing some acting maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I don't know nothing about acting. I just know what I need to do. Um, um, it's just something that God has shifted for me. He told me, I'm about to do something else for you. Instead of writing, poetry, we're gonna go into acting. So yeah.
So what are some of the things that you've learned since you've been in that season of your life?
Learn that it's okay to be step out on faith. It's okay to be uncomfortable, but do what you need to do.
Those are major facts.
And don't doubt yourself.
Definitely. If you have somebody that's coming to you, Tammy, I'm not sure myself. I don't really have the confidence to, put my work out. I got some reservations about that, and they come to you. What advice would you give them about not having confidence in what to do moving forward?
Don't give up. just keep going, keep praying. You practice writing, practice looking in the mirror, saying things, that build up your confidence. There's always some different things that you can do. But most of all, don't give up. Just keep going. Practice makes perfect.
Indeed. Great, wise words. Let's get into another subject or project. Talk about a little bit about the monologue, the creation of that project and what you're doing, and give the people information about how they can get involved or check out, what y'all doing.
Oh yes, I am in a ministry called Tears to Purpose Monologue Ministry. We are a kingdom theater. We minister through the arts, poetry, praise dancing, skits. We do short films, plays, monologues. And if anybody don't know what a monologue is where you tell your story. And you tell your story through, well, I just said, poetry, praise dancing. You could be singing or rapping, but you're telling your story of how God has all the glory, how He brought you out of the storm. You're telling your testimony, and then as we minister through that, we're helping others heal as you healing yourself. We trying to bring people back to Christ.
Very important. Just that, movement and transition within itself is powerful. As we talk about that, share with our audience a piece of your testimony that will impact and inspire something that you feel comfortable sharing
Hmm.
or your testimony.
I feel very strongly when I tell my testimony, because it might be somebody that's going through the same thing that I'm going through, and to see me tell my story and be like, oh, I'm going through the same thing that she's doing, and if God can do that for her, I know He can do that for me.
Mm, you're
And
right.
is that to me is powerful when somebody else is saying that you inspire them to tell their story.
It is. And when you talk about that, when you experience that firsthand, it does something for your spirit. It motivates you and encourages you to do greater, to do
Right.
more. And I've had opportunity to check out some of the content, some of the, the testimonies, the experiences, and it is impactful. It is inspiring. You've done an amazing job with every project that you have had, and you said something important in the interview earlier. You said don't feel like you're rushed, meaning your timing
Yes.
has you're led by the Spirit in order to
Mm-hmm.
move with what is being poured into you to put out there. Let it manifest. If
Right.
it doesn't feel right to you, put it aside and
Mm.
wait until you're led to go back to that project and then, put that out. Maybe it wasn't the time. Maybe there was something that didn't line up where it pertains to that. That was very important.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure that our audience caught that part as well. Here we're going to speak, we're going to go to another question I have. Talk about your live performances with poetry. In any event that you've taken part in. What did that feel like to connect with the audience? And do you remember in particular event in Pacific?
Oh, the very first live event was when Jonathan Coleman, shout out to him, with Blacktopia. He gave me the first chance of doing a live poetry in North Carolina. That's when I met you. That's the first time. I mean, that was amazing. I was scared, but I was amazed. everything just fell into place. You were good. Um, others as well was good. I mean, it was awesome, and I appreciate that he gave me the chance to perform my first poetry show.
It was amazing the family support you
Yes,
had, right?
yes,
And it's something that, even having you on Big Woo Radio, we have a capsule of, where we can go and listen to that season. And, that's the whole reason why we create these platforms, is to have those things that we can share with our grandkids, and let
hmm
here's a piece in moment in time where we captured my gift, my daughter's gift, in current stage. Those are the things that had me motivated to, continue these type of opportunities on these platforms, and to have you in on the JT experience tonight continues that legacy of capturing the moment, of bringing it full circle. A sense of pride, because it's not just in February that we're creating historical moments. We are doing these things all year round. I want people to understand that we're not just boxed in into a month. We have an opportunity every time that God wakes us up to make an inspirational impact and leave a
hmm
footprint of legacy in all the things that we do. So when I mention the word legacy, Tammy, what is the legacy that you want to etch into your, the people that read, experience, you live? What do you want to leave as an impression on the audience?
I want to leave an amazing impression on the audience. I want them to feel like they can do anything. I want them to be like, if she can do it, I can do it. And through God, then I can do it through God too. And I don't have to worry about anybody, you know, anybody's making fun of me or doubting me, but I can do it with God no matter what.
When you talk about the strength, the faith, and the power of God in heaven, the impact that it's had on your life and discovering what all that God has for you, for someone that might be there in our audience tonight that may not feel that strong, may not feel that faith at the moment, because we're in challenging times, and we also are in a grief-stricken time where people
Right.
are trying to stay encouraged. Give them a word from your spirit to theirs. It's something that will comfort and inspire them to keep going.
Just to keep going no matter what. No matter what life throws at you, just stay on the course. Keep your eyes on God, focus on His Word, keep praying, and know that He's there for you. Anybody else is, you can take advice from others, but just keep your eyes on God and read your Bible, and most of His Word is very encouraging. So and don't give up.
A lot of wisdom and gems dropped in this episode of the JT Experience. Tammy Thomas is the guest. Tammy Thomas, please give us a way that our audience can follow, tap into your projects, patronize anything that they need to in order to get a hold of your books, and how they can tune into the monologues and catch upcoming things that are coming up in 2024, 2025.
Well, you can get my books on Amazon, and also you can look on all platforms. I am on Facebook at Tammy Thomas, Tammy Thomas. I have a poetry page, Tammy Thomas hyphen the Poetess. I am also on TikTok and Instagram at TT the Poetic Piece. And I also have a YouTube channel, and it's Tammy Thomas. I think it's 8320.
You got the math straight from the innovator, the creator herself. Tammy Thomas, has been an extreme honor and pleasure to have you on the JT experience. You have the voice,
Thank you.
vision, and the vibe to inspire and impact. So keep God first in everything that you do, and keep stepping on that journey and keeping your footprint of legacy upon everything that you touch and speak upon.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh, and the monologues, you can go to Facebook and type in Tears to Purpose Monologue Movement community page, and, you know, tap like and share. And you'll see all the events. We are doing different things on there. We're doing skits on there. Also, we do words of encouragement. I have a segment I put up there called Breakfast with God. I just put the video up today, so y'all can go look and check it out. And plus, we'll let you know when the next monologue is coming out, which will be coming out December 21st, the second showing of Eyes Wide Open. And you can purchase tickets through me or through Cash App. Is $ Tears to Purpose, all capitals. And the ticket right now is $15 until the 17th to see the second showing. Plus, we'll be doing other monologues next year starting in January. So we are so excited. We're getting busy.
Tap in. The math is mathing. We appreciate everybody tuned into the JT experience. Voices, vision, and vibes. Take care of yourself. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Tammy Thomas, and my genius is writing. I am an author and a poet. I love using my paper and my pen to express myself, and I love to motivate others and be a voice for them. Genius is common.